What NSFW question have you always wanted to ask the opposite gender? Do boobs float in the bath? Mine do. Mine don't really, but they're not very big, so it could just be that I'm not noticing, or because they don't have enough fat in them. Is it as convenient as I think it is to pee standing up? Peeing standing up isn't hard. If you practice, you can even pee from a distance or do zigzags. The real problem is peeing standing up while having a boner. Yes, until the last drops comes out only after you pulled up your pants. Edit. Holy shit, this is getting upvoted like crazy. Ooh, thanks y'all, and don't forget to shake and, apparently, press and enjoy the drops who still come out. And obviously also thanks for the rewards. What does it feel like to have something in your vagina? Is it just a lot of pressure, or what? Edit. Thank you for all your responses. What I'm gathering is that pressure is part of the sensation, but not quite the correct term. The fullness that I see being referred to quite often here makes a lot of sense, and is consistent with the descriptions I've had from past partners. I didn't quite understand what they were describing, but the detailed answers and analogies you've given have made it make more sense. Also, thank you for those of you who interpreted the question in terms of non-sexual situations, inserting a tampon, during checkups with a speculum, and the differences in emotional feeling between when you're really into it and when you're really not. That wasn't my intended direction for the question, but it's still an important distinction and I appreciate you. For me, it's a really nice stretching sensation, accompanied by the feeling of being full. Not sure if that makes any sense, but that's what I get out of it. I also prefer for my BF to keep it in while we cuddle for a while. BC, when he takes it out it feels emptier than before we started, and it's a weird feeling to me. That's a difficult one to describe. For me, penetrative sex gives me a tingly feeling deep in my pelvis. It kind of feels like having butterflies really low down in my tummy, and can send a rush up through my body. Do your ladies like the butts of the male variety? Yes. Definitely yes. A nice firm butt is a joy to behold. Do your squats, guys? Men who ride horses, how do you do it with balls? I'm trying to teach my nephew to ride, but I have no idea about the mechanics of testicles nor how to manage them at a sitting or posting trot. They really shouldn't be an issue. Just like sitting in any other situation, male genitals are higher up on the pelvis than people seem to think, so they don't often get low enough to be sat on. In saying that, learning to bounce with the horse will make him more comfortable, but I'm sure that's true for women that ride horses too. The balls sit higher up than you might think. They aren't dangling literally between the legs exactly on the taint. They are higher than that. Women, if you hug a guy, how aware are you of your breasts pressed against him? Because us guys definitely notice the feel on our ribs. TBH, I never feel it even though I have bigger boobs. Yes. It makes me feel kinda awkward, so I used to not press my torso and just kinda bend my shoulders to hug, but it makes it even more awkward since I am hyper aware of my nipples still grazing his torso. It's better to just hug normally and let them smush. Italian guys, does holding your crotch really give you good luck? It's not good luck, it's when you hear an ambulance siren or someone says something bad is gonna happen. We usually just touch metal like you knock on wood. Do you actually like hand jobs, or do you just think about how much better you are at them the whole time? It's not that I can't do it better, but the sensation of not your hands doing it really changes things. Some women are good at it, in my experience. But most of the joy just comes from being touched. What does wearing a short skirt feel like? Breezy, but when you sit down your thighs can stick together and that sucks. If you're wearing a skirt that is loose, then even a light breeze means that you have to hold it down. And it's hard to bike in them. You kind of have to bike with your legs together or keep the fabric down between your legs with one hand. You can run around in skirts, but climbing and stuff is hard to do without flashing anyone. Also, I hate sitting on plastic chairs with short skirts or shorts on. The feeling of the plastic on my legs is horrible and it leaves a print on my legs. Actually, longer skirts are best for hot weather because you get the same amount of airflow but it keeps the heat of the sun of your legs and you don't have to choose cafes based on if they have cushions on the chairs in order to not stick. This sounds like a lot of cons, but I love wearing skirts and dresses, they make me feel so feminine. Ask the Celtic men. I'm a dude, so not really a question for the opposite sex, but, guys, do you ever get so hard your dick just hurts? Yes. Absolutely. How can some dudes sit with their legs crossed? Does it ever hurt? Also, how TF do guys comfortably ride a bike? Boys' bike seats are even worse. Riding a bike isn't bad, your balls just kinda sit on top of the seat. As long as you don't hit too many bumps, it's fine. But if you are going for longer rides, then you need compression shorts. As long as the boys don't bounce around too much, it won't bother you. I can't answer the bike question, but to cross legs you need to lift the one leg enough to clear the junk before moving the thigh in. That way the boys can mind their own business away from the squeeze. Does anal feel like taking a shit, but with it getting in and out? It feels like the need to poop. I find just having a finger on my clit is enough to keep my brain from going there and goes to the stretching/filling up sensation instead. Chicks with proportionally large chests, how do you feel about your boobs? I am a 34 LL. I hate my breasts with a passion. I would give anything to be a D. I am always conscious of them. I have to wear a bra all the time and they hurt, dig in, are generally uncomfortable. If I lie on my back they flow into my pits, if I lie on my front they push up and choke me. Sat down they create sweat and stick to my ribs and I have to put something between them. In a bra they stick together again, I put a piece of paper or something between them. They wake me up in the night. They weigh 12 pounds each. You ever carried something 24 pounds around with you on your front all day every day? Not fun. My bras cost around $100 each, they need to be custom made. Then I have comments all the time like that I need to dress professionally, because the owning of huge milkers in themselves in unprofessional. But they look hot and I would die for tits like yours, etc, etc, so how can I complain? I hate my boobs most of the time, they are a curse. I have a 36 DDD, and no matter how much weight I lose they never really go down. I get a lot of positive attention, harassment, in public that I don't like getting. I never fit in any clothing, I normally wear a medium but end up in an XL because of my chest and the bottom half of the shirt is not form-fitting. I cannot find bras under $70. I can't sleep on my stomach well. They hurt horribly before my period. My back always hurts because of them. Just a whole lot. It seems like a blessing but it's mostly a curse in disguise. This whole comment thread is better sex ed than some people get in school, lol. I'm infinitely grateful to people asking and people answering. Here we have absolute zero of sex ed and asking anyone is considered infinitely shameful. Like sometimes I just go WTF, are you supposed to be born with that knowledge or something? Having an erection with no explanation of how, why and for what, for years, largely contributed to me identifying as asexual. What does it mean to have a throbbing cock? It's when you're so horny that your body tries to pump blood into your dong even though it's already at maximum hardness, thus giving a feeling of your heart beating in your cock. When I clutch the 1v3. So my eyes falls on the breasts of my friends while we talking for just seconds or less. Do you notice this and what's your reaction to it? TBH, whenever I do it I feel ashamed and awkward and now I try to just look at the floor as it's really hard for me to look at eyes and talk. It's very noticeable. NGL, boobs are quite far from my eyes. I personally don't care, I accidentally do it to other women all the time, and it's kind of funny, lol. Only time it's annoying and I'll say something is when someone keeps staring, but that rarely happens. Not that anyone asked, but as a female, I have post-orgasm clarity too. So, I've talked a lot about this with my so and she says she has it too, but she also stays horny after a few orgasms whereas my horniness tends to dissipate. Does your clarity increase or decrease horniness? Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.